Ba 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 ba. Hey, and we are live. Yay. Oop. Things are being weird. I don't like it when computer things are weird. It makes me very, very, very worried. Probably should have checked to make sure that, like... Okay, it is set up right. Cool. I noticed in my recordings that some of the edges was lost. I don't know why. That's not positioned correctly. There we go. That'll work. Alright, so plan today, probably mostly just gonna be doing aircraft and SSTOs, you know, if I can get them to work. Should be able to with the tech I have. Why? Because the last stream was a bunch of yesterday's stream was a bunch of very, very long duration missions. And that got very boring. I doubt it's very exciting to have me just staring at the screen, messing with maneuver nodes for 10 minutes. So today is going to be very much not that. Because I don't want to do that again. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if I want to go straight for an SSTO or just build an aircraft first. I want to build an aircraft. That'll be a very high-speed aircraft. Yep. Bah. What to do. I don't really have a plan for what I'm going to be making. I'm just going to start kind of throwing things together. Sure, it'll be a rocket plane too, even though I just want it to be atmospheric for now. Why not? Don't need a whole lot of dedicated liquid fuel. Is pretty efficient. I think if I try to go SSTO right now, it'll be difficult but doable with the Panther as like the main option. I'm pretty sure you can do it. That doesn't mean it'll be easy. But again, for now, just rocket and just hypersonic. I should make it longer, but eh. There we go. That's an interesting little thing. Yeah, that'll work. For some reason, I always mess up which direction rotates things, especially in the spaceplane hangar. Oops. Let's just go with these. I mean, it's kind of ugly, not gonna lie. And finally, let's add. We can just choose one of the two of these for the rudder. That'll be good enough. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Engines, I want it just small. Honestly, even these might be kind of nifty. Just enough to get that extra little oomph. Okay, maybe there won't be enough oomph. 16. These are a bit big. Oh, actually, they're not as big as I remember them being. Okay, it's a bit silly. Oh yeah, should probably add some intakes, shouldn't I? Intakes are a little bit important. And an air brake. Also be good. Lower these down to just a smidge. And raise this up a bit. Also a smidge. I still want it a little bit nose high. Oh, the tail might still drag. Move these back a bit further. So I'd rather not tail strike right on takeoff. Okay, you know what? It's pretty simple. It doesn't really have anything to it at the moment. I just want to fly it though, see how it flies. Let's just have one person on board, you know, just in case. Is that saying toggle engine mode? No, switch mode. There we go. I have the deploy set to 0. Yeah. Yes. Very nice. And a very imaginative name to go with it. Yeah, it's it won't do much. I just want to see if it'll fly, really. Just get something out quickly, just to start. Oh. There's one action group I very much forgot to do. Because I wanted one to toggle the, rockets. Oops. Oh well. Ooh, why'd you flame out? Okay, I suppose I need more air intakes. That's fine. That's fine. I guess while I'm here. I suppose I'll put on 2. You know, if I really would want to be fancy, I could have taken my joystick and plugged it in for this stream, but I didn't. So I didn't. May have gotten a little excessive with the thrust. Ooh. Interesting. I mean, it flies pretty well. That's a cool 15 Gs, Jeb's fine. Okay, maybe I should turn down the thrust vectoring a bit. 5. Nothing happened. It was just a test flight. Just a simulator. It is interesting how little roll authority I had. I wonder if I have these active and rolled as well. But I mean, other than lack of roll during very high G turns, that was not bad at all. And whatever's going on with that jet engine. Also, the fact that I just took off with full brakes on, that's fine. I don't know if I can go orbital. At the very least, there's a decent chance that this thing can, well, this thing can almost start to go on a decent suborbital hop. Like, that is not a bad amount of thrust. I don't have a whole lot of experience with space planes and SSTOs, but so a Matt Lown video this will not be. Oh, I saw the flaps down. Let's undo that. Oh. Why? I need to turn that jet volume down. Jesus Christ. Why are jet engines so much louder than rockets? I mean, yeah, this is almost certainly not going orbital, but like, I didn't design this thing to even go this far, so I'm gonna say a solid not bad. Oh. Why is my toggle for the engine mode not working? I don't understand. I think we're just on reaction wheel control at the moment. Okay, so the control surface is actually doing something still. Whoop, 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 whoop. You know, remember what I said earlier about it flying pretty well? Admittedly, I didn't exactly check it with, empty tanks. Those were from yesterday. Okay. I wonder what we can do in just straight line in jet engine only speed. I think 12 kilometers will be a good altitude to test that. It should be low enough to still get a decent amount of air, but not so much that we're, you know, pushing through a lot of air. Never mind, we are rapidly losing thrust. Oh, I think that's because we're too fast for our ramjets inlets to work? That's what I'm guessing, at least. Tempted to divert to that island so I actually have ground to land on. I mean, I'll probably just revert to the space plane hangar anyway. But it's the principle of the thing, you know, you gotta have a proper landing. So yeah, we're hanging out just under Mach 3, I think. Which, you know, for a plane that was very much just kind of thrown together haphazardly, I don't feel too bad about. I could go for the island airfield. I haven't been there yet this playthrough. Not that there's really a whole lot there, but you know. Yeah, I should make it back to KSC, no problem. Yeah, I haven't been there in a really long time because like I mentioned earlier, I don't really do space planes or anything that often. I wonder if I can find some of my old aircraft that I did make though. Just to, you know, bring up as a fun thing. Well, I suppose so. Whoop! That's what I was worried about. You know, I haven't been to Dres yet. That was gonna be one of my next steps. The only thing is that, like, my previous stream, I did a Duna mission in return, and I got very tired of staring at maneuver nodes and just making final adjustments to them, so hence the dicking around with planes today. Ooh, actually, I might need to... There we go, much more efficient. Alright, I guess in a moment we'll find out how this thing handles landing. Because flying isn't bad as long as I'm careful with my angle of attack. If I had a joystick, this thing would fly beautifully. Oh, well, if I had a joystick set up to use with KSP, rather. No, I feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity to have the Roadster be on Dres instead of, well, I guess it's easier to find, but, if you had it as just like one of the asteroids that you could, you know, intercept, it had a chance to be the Roadster. Alright, let's bring it in nice and easy. We're still going pretty fast, but we haven't deployed the speed brake yet, so that shouldn't be an issue. As long as we're under 100 meters a second and still controllable, that should be good. I mean, it's only 200 miles an hour. That's not a crazy landing speed for, you know, a high-speed test plane like this. It's high, but not crazy. Oh yeah, we are good. We are rock steady still. And flare. Oh, too much flare, too much flare. Hello, Allie. How are you? Unfortunately, well, I suppose I don't know it for sure. I'm not sure if this is your style of game at all. Well, my model is standing, yeah. We don't worry about that. Oop, oop, oop. I mean, I could. I'm just showing from waist up. But, I mean, I could just raise my desk up and actually be standing IRL as well. Now, I'm tempted to fly back to KSC, but there's no way in hell I have enough fuel to do that. You know, I suppose that depending on what exactly you mean, that might make some of your name make sense, although... Oh wait, never mind. Disregard. Yeah, it's just like that didn't make much sense. Wait a minute. This is what I want. TSA cat. I would guess either aircraft maintenance or ATC. Pen is what would be my guesses. I feel like we've talked about it before. Okay, cool. So that means I have 2 friends that do ATC that I know of. Somewhere in California. That's all I know. I don't really tend to keep track of where my friends are, just because it, like, even if they straight up tell me, it feels like doxing, and I feel weird about it. So I think California, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It would be funny if y'all work at like... I was about to say, it would be funny if you were at like the same airport, or at least like near to each other. If I add just one more rocket fuel to this, I wonder. Technically, yes. I mainly know him through Discord server, but I have seen him in VR chat as well. But more of a Discord friend than VR chat friend. Get rid of these. Those engines suck. And then I'll do a more traditional engine. Legit engines. Supersonic bypass. Supersonic bypass. But still, it is funny, in a very small world kind of way. Oh, I just, trying to figure out how much I can actually, like, say. And how much I actually want to say as well. But military is the main thing. I feel very dumb. There it is. Yeah, putting our afterburner directly onto the horizontal stabilizers. That's fine. It's fine. Ooh, let's move those wings a bit forward. Yeah, that's why, like, we were talking before about, like, using a different name for the streaming and all that. It's like, yeah, I want to keep streaming as far away from everything else as I can. It's like, does it need to be? No, but, you know. Actually, if I can get this orbital, there's a real mission I could actually do with it. Because I think there's some, like, repair satellites in orbit of Kerbin missions. Like, I could definitely do those. Well, maybe, as long as they're not, like, crazy distant out satellites. Now, why? Weird. Oh, right. You know what? I'm actually gonna go back to the space plane here. Not very long. I mean, I already had it from the VR chat avatar, so it didn't take much adjustment. Control less than the back wheels. For the first, this is technically version 2, but for the first version of the setting up the Avi, probably. Yeah, when I set up, it probably took maybe an hour or two, for the first version, but then now I have. Oh, jeez, I don't even remember. Oh, I have it set up. Just the keys or control key? Control key. Yes, there we go. Aha. Now I can be a whore. Oh, oh. Wrong button. Well, I suppose that's... If I ever do, like, you know, a stream where I'm in a pool kind of area, boom, I'm good to go. Why is... Okay, apparently control numpad has more uses than I thought it did. So I might have to change my bindings on that. Because it keeps really, really missing with Chrome. IRL pool, maybe not. I have thought before that, like, I wonder if there's decent ways that I could set up where I could do IRL hiking streams while also still using the VTuber. I don't really know if there's a practical way that I could do that with my knowledge and skill set. But, you know, if I could manage it, it would be kind of cool. Ooh, I forgot. That's gonna be difficult later. I may have set the friction a little too high. Well, thank you for dropping by. I feel like this is probably the longest chat we've had in a while, so good seeing you. Hope to see you more in coming time. And have fun at work. Don't crash anything. Leave the crashing to me and Kerbal. See if that's enough. I didn't reset the didn't redo the action groups. I thought about it. I did everything but that, and then I didn't do the action groups. Oh well. You want it a little tail heavy, or tail low on the runway. This is a bit much though. I don't. Never had this much issue with doing the manual friction control before. That's weird. Like, I've never had it go that crazy. That quickly. Action groups. Yes, action groups. Toggle engine. There we go. I think that's all I needed. Pa, 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 pa. What the hell? Oh, what? What? Huh? That didn't make any... Oh! Well, no. I thought the issue was the engine's firing directly into that. That was like canceling the thrust, but like... Yes, I think that's exactly the issue. I think that's why it's not going anywhere. Let's put that a bit lower, and we'll put that a bit higher. Well, that explains why I had so much issue with the quote-unquote friction. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, let's move these a little bit further forward. I'll have to be very careful not to tail strike, but we should be good. Much better. I don't know if this thing will go orbital. Probably not. Unless, but we'll find out. But hey, it seems to fly good, just like the first version did. Obviously we have the same thrust, but we're a much heavier craft now, but that's not, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Alright, we'll level out here to gain speed. Look at that thruster shooting up. I had a tiny bit of lag there when I maneuvered, and I thought for sure that it was the plane coming apart. Know if 2 Terriers are going to be enough to get us. If they're going to have enough thrust. Maybe if I accelerated faster before going up? I know a lot of people don't really like the Mark II space plane stuff, but I think it's neat. I do not have as much authority as I would like. Okay, yeah. Terrier's not gonna do it. But having a feel that I could probably fly all over if I want to. Whee! Yeah, once again, this thing would fly amazingly with a joystick. Like, it's not even bad with just keyboard. It definitely looks kind of neat. I like it. It's not particularly useful, but I'm still happy with this plane. Ooh. Ooh. I don't think Bill liked that maneuver. Ooh. Just a nice casual 10 Gs, we're fine. It has a very slight roll to the right. I'm at full deflection. I highly doubt that KSP added in torque roll from the turbine spinning. So I'm not sure what would be causing that. Man, it would be so nice if you could just do, you know, 4 times acceleration when flying in an actual plane. Oh my. Definitely getting a bit toasty. That's interesting. Oh. Huh. I didn't know that you couldn't run them dry at high enough speed. Interesting. We are admittedly running a bit low on liquid fuel. Honestly, I could probably still make it back to KSP running completely dry at this point, but, you know, where's the fun in that? It would also be way more fuel efficient to be flying at high altitude, but, you know, here we are. Less than 200 meters off the deck. Looks almost MiG-21 like in the shadow. I'll be honest, not quite as exciting a river as I hoped. Maybe when it gets into the mountains, it'll be cooler. Ooh. I kinda wanna get one of the mods that lets you do, like air launch missions without just throwing away a plane. Where it basically drops a save that lets you then pilot each part individually. I mean, I am enjoying stock still so far. It hasn't gotten old yet, but there's just so many things that you can't do without mods. Yeah, what could possibly be wrong flying 50 meters above the water at just like Mach 0.8? Actually, maybe 0.9. Look, if you're not low enough that rolling the aircraft will put a wing into the water, Are you really flying low? He says, I'm not going very reckless with it, you know, we're not even an afterburner. Uh-oh. May have overdone it. Another happy landing. I suppose there's no real reason for me to be a recovering vessel instead of just reverting to spaceplane hangar. Because literally all I'm doing is losing money. There's a thought. You know, I kind of want to do a little bit more of just high-speed flight. I'm really enjoying it. But what if we go even faster? And then also, I bet if we... Okay, we don't need that to be mirrored. That will help keep our center of mass further forward. Yes. This is a perfectly reasonable amount of engine for an aircraft this size. Is there any other control thing I wanted to do while I was here? I could up that a bit. Oh yes, I want to lock the gimbal. There we go. Yeah, our roll was fine. You know, something I could do that would actually make this useful. So I could hire another pilot. Sure. I mean, do we need it? No. I don't really have a use for an actual other pilot, but I Suppose I could have actually taken someone of any specialty. Oh well. Or should I go with it? I could just go and kind of go tooling around the mountains a bit. Go back up over this way. Start the river from the other side. So I'll do the really cool river over here is in darkness, and I don't think that would work well. Ooh. We'll probably actually hit pretty decent speeds without even turning on the afterburner with this thing. Okay, so it looks like my fancy little fuel pipe thing does not work. Good to know. Oh well. I thought that counts. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that Hubert Kerman there will actually gain a full experience level without exiting the atmosphere. But, you know, at least get him some experience. Technically. I don't... I guess I have enough air intake. Third throttle and I'm still accelerating while going up slightly. And actually, I have to be fairly careful I don't rip the aircraft apart with those high-speed turns. This thing flies so well. As I almost put it into the hill. That's a hell of a time to be accelerating supersonic in. just using aerodynamics to stay stable. It's holding pretty steady. I should play 8th Combat 4 again. I haven't, or 7. Well, 4 as well, but I'd have to get my PS2 after that. Very much F104 style banking with intent to turn. Give me a big 1,000 only jet. Popping out at this altitude. Nope. Alright, I'll do one more high-speed pass to KSP and then I'll come in for a landing. And then try and work on an actual SSTO, since that is, you know, the title of the stream. I don't want to be going for false advertising here. Wow, there's still a lot of fuel left. Now, I wonder with this setup, if I just added like a swivel engine to it and some fuel, if that would be enough. the airflow through the engine as being a bigger factor than the greater drag. Oh, it's not level flight, but are we about to hit 1,000? Hell yeah, 2,000 meters a second, or 1,000 meters a second. And there we go, 1,000 meters a second in level flight. We're only mildly overheating the hell out of our engines. Oh, that's a lovely cherry red. They're fine, they're fine. That'll help them cool down. Holy shit, we're still accelerating. Say goodbye to every single window in KSC. Why is that say it's overheating? Normally the air brakes are fine re-entering through the atmosphere from orbit. I guess maybe it's bleed heat from the engines adding to it. Okay, graphics, stop being weird. Alright, I'd say it's a pretty successful little fun flight. Let's see what that did for a little Huber here. Probably just like half XP, but still. Oh shoot, we're already an hour and a half in almost. Yeah, that didn't really do much. Alright. Let's make a proper attempt for... Oh, I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna bother going full SSTO. Oh, but it's the name of the stream. I gotta try. Okay, we'll go bigger. When in doubt, go bigger. Oh, my contacts are also bothering me. Jesus. Really? Where's the rocket version of that? Do I need another research node to get the rocket version of that? That's annoying. Okay, well. It's gonna look a bit silly. Let's do one. Or just shut full. Oh god, that looks ridiculous. Oh no. Wait. Am I just blind? Like where? I don't understand it. Oh well. This is gonna look real dumb. But, oh well. Here we are. What if I just put a skipper on the end of it? It would work. It would be even dumber than everything else I've done here, but it would work. You know what actually I could do? That would make it look less dumb. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, jeez. I go with the poodle because it's mostly going to be meant for on orbit. Ooh, only 700. All that for only 7. Oh, right, because... Okay, yeah, that's more like it. Cool, we're good, we're good. Let's go with the bigger... We're probably going to take a lot of jet power to get anywhere with this thing. And look, we still have a little bit of room in the cargo bay for actual cargo. Everything's fine. should also probably put some RCS. This thing, and maybe just kind of throw that there. This thing is already going to maneuver like a whale anyway, even with that. That'll be fine. And now trying to put enough wings on this thing that it can fly like an actual plane. I want all the wings to be tied together. That way. That way, if all the wings are attached to each other, that means I can move all the wings as a single unit when I'm adjusting the thing for looks and aerodynamics. And then proceed to do literally not that. Okay, that's... I also don't want to take too long building, just because, you know, this is still a ridiculous, ridiculous fuselage. Whatever. I'll just go quick. Speed. It's an awful wing. I hate everything about that. Have you ever heard the term, if it looks right, it'll fly right? Pretty sure that wing was the opposite of that. If I had to give someone a seizure. Don't worry about it. Look, it's one thing if I keep calling it ugly. It's another thing if you do. Yeah, the fact that's not on Earth is the only reason this might actually work. If you were to try and fly this thing in real life, the gods of aviation would smite you down immediately for daring to try and fly such an ugly thing. Oh, I feel like seeing the engine in the back makes it even worse. I don't know if that actually helps. Thankfully, it doesn't really take much to fly in Kerbal. Which is basically the only thing we have going for us. How do I want to do the tailplane? I mean, I could go for a more standard shuttle delta wing. But it already looks so stupid, I kind of want to lean into it and just make it so incredibly awful. Why does it embed so far in? Oh, it's just small. No, that's... Okay. Might be a bit too big. Oh no. Oh god. Why did the people of this world let me design? Oh no, and I only have medium-sized landing gear too. Oh no. Why do the people of this world let me design things? Why do they let me do this? Oh, shoot. Oh God. I feel so sorry about this, but probably not as sorry as I should. Feel. Why are you telling me that my center of drag is in the floor? There. That still seems unlikely, but okay. Thank you. Oops. KSP, are you feeling okay? I hope that's not where you're actually going to apply the center of drag when I try to fly this. That's not going to be great. I might have to switch that poodle out for a skipper. Or is it a skipper I'm thinking of? Yeah, skipper. Might have to do that. We'll see. Alright, Jeb, you can take a rest. You've done enough. Oh, right. Extra group. 0. Deploy. Deploy. Make sure you do not turn. Traction control higher. So, oh buddy, we're gonna need all the... Oh my god, this wing is... It's so stubby, but at the same time, if I make it any longer, it'll look ridiculous that way too. I think no matter what I do, this thing is gonna look ridiculous, so we're just gonna send it. I hope everyone aboard has completed their recent will and testament. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I am giving it a chance. I just don't have faith. That's simple, really. I mean, this is a lot of plane to be trying to pushing with a poodle. I forgot to turn off the gimbal on the engines. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, I think I need more wing area. Oh! I think the real answer is no. But here we are. We're off the ground. Oh, what have I done? don't think this thing is gonna get supersonic anytime soon. Oh, God. I'm not sure if 4 Panthers is enough for this thing. I don't... I was about to say, this is about as much the right tool for the job as, when you have a pair of pliers in your hand, but you really need a hammer. Like, you can use it, but you really shouldn't. Can we turn well enough to make it back to KSC and land? Uh-oh. We're good. Perfectly normal. Oh, God. You know, it doesn't help that I have approximately a metric ass ton of rocket fuel on board. Like, if I put a skipper on this thing, it would probably be able to go SSTO just on the skipper. If I actually manage to put this down gently, that will be proof that there is no God in the Kerbal universe. Well. Okay, so we have not determined that there is not a KSE God. I mean, it's not the worst landing in Kerbal history, I'm sure. Even just that alone would probably help substantially. Only took me about 4 tries. add another delta wing to the end, just because. And now it should actually have something approaching lift. Probably still doesn't have nearly enough thrust, but we should at least have lift. Alright, I forgot to turn off the gimbal again. Well, honestly, I think I'd probably actually do good having at least two of them. Uh-oh. Well, it technically did better in that everyone survived this time. So there is that. Yeah, that's what we're going with. It went. This was a better flight because everyone survived. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's increase the deflection on those. Sure. That's probably the worst way to do it because it doesn't line up at all. But sure. Why not? So I might just have to add more engines. That's the boring answer. But it's the most likely one. I realize that a Kerbal player complaining about adding more engines is strange and unnatural, but here we are. This entire plane is strange and unnatural, so it fits the territory. Whoop. Let's not retract the landing gear. That would not go well. That's not the reaction I expected to yaw inputs, I'm gonna be honest. I did not expect it to crab. Well, I guess we're going off the runway again. Okay, maybe I need to have some yaw control. I realize that's a very strange concept, but having some form of yaw is probably a good idea. That's being very weird. I don't know what was going on with that. I mean, it has a rudder. I guess it's really more of a skeg. Well, this will be a different form of rolling off the runway. I still have the brakes on. Fuck. Let's do that without the brakes this time. I might just have to give up on this thing and start from scratch. I really want to make it work just because I hate it so much. But I wonder if the flaps are actually making things worse. I'm gonna try without them. Okay, we don't seem to be going significantly faster this time. Yep, the flags definitely make things worse, but the difference is not great enough. Okay, more thrust. More thrust is the answer. As the old... As the old F4 Phantom saying goes, in thrust we trust. Let's lock the gimbal on these. Oh, that's why we're crabbing. That would do it. Well, that's one issue solved. Much better. Welcome back to the land of the living. It has not gotten much better. But at least the more thrust seems to be the answer. I wonder if it worked even with the smaller wings. It probably would have. So far, the smaller wing version is still the best flying, although this one looks like it'll beat it. Alright, we're transonic at least. Alright, if we get it on this flight, then we'll at least have an actual SSTO before the 2-hour mark. Or by the 2-hour mark. Which will be something, at least. Not gonna lie, another pair of engines might actually be a good idea. But we are at least airborne. And if you look at it from far enough away, it looks almost decent. Specifically about this far away where you can't actually see it anymore. Any more speed bumps? Okay. Well, I guess we are gaining altitude. Slowly. Very, very slowly. Yeah, another pair of engines will really make the difference. As disgusting as it is. Or, you know, cutting way back on the amount of rocket fuel that we're carrying. Because we do have a pretty excessive amount. Actually, you know what? Okay, a skipper would do better here. Fine. Fine. If I ever want to carry cargo on this thing. Okay, I'm gonna try going to the skipper first, and then we'll add another pair of engines if that isn't enough. What does that do to our center of gravity? Oh, we're fine. Honestly, we could move some of the wings forward and it would still be fine. So, we do miss the 2-hour mark. Oh well. Sorry, had to say hi to someone real quick. see how fast we can get going here. Kick on the engine. Start to climb. You know, I kept on saying I have an excessive amount of rocket fuel. I think I have a truly excessive amount of jet fuel. Because that is not helping our thrust to weight. Yeah. I don't even want to count. Probably couldn't even count if I want to. How many tries this is at this point. Okay, no, that just looks silly. Nice. Very nice. That's probably still blocking the hatch, but oh well. I hate trying to make wings in KSP. I'm so bad at it. Like, even when they work, they don't look good. You are very good at finding any little word that the automod doesn't like. Had to allow like 4 messages from you. Not only today, but this is the first one today. wonder if it would still need the third set of engines. I wonder if it'll be fine with this, without all that jet fuel weight. We also might not have enough jet fuel now. That's another possibility. Like, we got a decent amount in these liquid fuel tanks, but we'll see. I said, I really thought that just switching to the skipper would be enough on that last one. Why is it so bouncy? I mean, it's not as bad as the first version did. Like, come on, it's not nearly as bad as that one was. Like, it looks stupid and fat, but it still at least looks like an airplane. I think it will need that that third pair of engines, though, like the previous version had. Like, right now, if it goes anywhere, it's going to be purely based off of what the skipper does. Now, if I put a mainsail... Also, I hate that whole thing so much, because it's not even accurate. Like, the story that the whole, oh, the bee can't fly according to laws of aviation thing comes, it was a aerodynamicist that was drunk. Like, writing on a napkin. And he was assuming the bee's wings were stationary, like an airplane's wings. Which, needless to say, is incorrect. That it's not an accurate portrayal of insect wings. Well, we've gotten further than some of the flights. It still looks ridiculous. But it probably won't get to orbit. I hope we'll at least get suborbital. If I don't even get suborbital, that's just going to be embarrassing. This is like, what, the 8th version of this single craft? And this is as far as we've gotten. I mean, yes, I knew from the beginning that it was really dumb. But still, you know? mean, shoot, we're actually really starting to get somewhere now. I mean, true. That's the whole reason I'm still trying it. Whoa, whoa. Great job there, PID. Just dump the entire nose, why don't ya? Is our center of mass off? It shouldn't be by much. I mean, sure, a little bit because the engines are low, but not by that much. Well, we are at least going to exit the atmosphere. That's something at least. I wonder if we'll have enough liquid fuel to fly back to KSP after this. It'll take a while, and I probably that is a long flight, and something that won't be particularly fast. I'll at least like turn it around and get going, and then call honor achieved. And then try and land it somewhere. Ooh, that's a bit too aggressive. Oh my goodness. Well, hello. Hello, hello, hello. We are doing very dumb things with aircraft. Oh god. Hopefully not that dumb. Right? Hello, Raiders. I mean, you know what? That is fair. Honestly, 2 hours in, and we have not actually achieved a single stage to orbit. We have achieved single stage to suborbit just now, and a little bit earlier as well. Looking at this craft, you can probably see why. But, you know, we're going. Also, I do appreciate the name SpaceX Left. The thing is, I've been following SpaceX literally since Grasshopper. Whoop, 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 whoop. That was a bit of a spicy maneuver. Basically, right now I'm just gonna try and fly this thing back to land, and then try and see if I can actually land it, and then I'm gonna add more jet engines, because more thrust solves everything. The very famous phrase, "In thrust we trust." Honestly, I actually probably could have kept going. Oh, that's very hilly though. Man, this thing flies so much nicer when there's not an entire jumbo thing of rocket fuel in it. Go figure. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's move some of that weight forward. Oh my god. Why did you do this to me, Kerbal? Yeah, but I want to see if it'll actually land. Like, that's the whole point of this current adventure, is just see if I can actually get the dang thing to land without dying horribly. And we're only a few minutes away from seeing. I don't have any air brakes. There are no brakes on this train except for the brakes that it has in the wheels. We'll ignore those for now. Oh goodness. You know, I will say, it technically flies better than the space shuttle, in that it can actually do powered flight. And I'd argue it's slightly better than a flying brick. Vaguely. I do feel this probably has about similar odds, though, as the famous RTLS abort for the space shuttle, which I believe... I mean, yeah. Also, just being an affront to the gods of aerodynamics will slow me down. But I believe this is the space shuttle RTLS that was referred to as multiple consecutive acts of God required to get back safely. I believe that was the phrasing, at least. Something close to that, for sure. Right now, my need to slow down is fighting with my impatience. That probably wasn't helping me. Okay, I think I have a landing spot picked out. It's very important that you note there's shuttle testing. Although I don't remember them doing that much with the testing. Like, I know they did the glide test with the Enterprise, and then the one test with just the two crew members. I don't remember off the top of my head what other testing other than that they did. Which, yeah, it really shows how, I mean, it lasted a shockingly long time before killing anyone. And it only killed 2 crews. It's just that when your crew is 7 people, that means that 2 fatal incidents still leaves you with half of all spaceflight deaths. But I mean, considering what a horrible engineering nightmare the shuttle was, I mean, only 2 orbiters lost is probably about as good as you could expect realistically. Yeah. Oh my god, we might actually take this thing in. Like, landing on rough terrain is not going to be easy, but... like, it's still controllable down to a pretty low speed here. Whoop. Uh-oh. This is going to be a hard bounce. Oh, yep, that's a hard bounce. Well, that was some hardcore porpoising, but, oh boy. You know what? It still worked. And we're here. And let's go back to spaceplane. And let's add those... Let's add those other jet engines. I think, actually, I'm going to do a little bit more than just that. I'm going to take these off. Come on. Dang it. No. Really? You can't add it onto the... Okay, you can. It just doesn't want you to. So I'm going to get rid of all this jet fuel here. And then add it as this, well, comparatively small tank up here. Which one? This one is smaller than the previous one, at least. And that will help shift the center of gravity forward a bit as we use the rocket fuel. No, I was holding on. Annoying. Okay. Once more. Honestly, there's a good chance that's not enough to get us all the way to orbital. Because we're still running into issues of the amount of rocket fuel by that point. I'm not sure how many more of these I have in me before just calling it for the day. There's only a couple of texts that I would need to research that would help a lot, since I'm doing this in career mode. Mega Cruiser, what game? Oh, okay. So you're just doing like building it in orbit? Nah, it's fine. What are you talking about courtesy? We're fine. So fun fact, last stream I did was actually, I'm not sure if my first ever time going to Duna, but very close to. I've done Jewel missions before, but after I did my mission to Jewel many years ago, I almost entirely switched over to Realism Overhaul. Ooh. So you're going with just your own design, or are you basing it on like a sci-fi show or something? Courtesy, you were there at the one stream I kept on saying what's the worst that could happen and things kept going horrendously wrong? Battlestar Galactica is one of those shows I have meant to watch for the better part of 2 decades and have never gotten around to. Just perennially on my, oh yeah, I really need to watch that someday list. You know, I was kind of hoping that leveling out here we would accelerate a bit. But it seems to not be the case. Lighting the engine up this early is not a good sign. I think after this flight, I'm just gonna have to scrap this vehicle and go with a very small SSTO. Just so I can at least have an SSTO during the stream. Unfortunately, that works a lot better when you're in distant orbit than when you're still in the atmosphere. I'm not even that early in the tech tree. That's the annoying part. Like, I feel like I'm pretty. I mean, obviously, like the ones left are the expensive techs that really help with this sort of thing. But still. I'm sure you can do it, courtesy. Look, if nothing else, if you have enough boosters, you'll just move Kerbin and be fine that way. Yeah, we are not making it. This is not nearly enough Delta V. And we have even less because most of it's in only jet fuel. Whee! It's also shockingly not very controllable considering that I have, you know, the reaction wheels here and the ones in another one in the cargo bay. It should be a lot more steady this high up in the atmosphere than it is. Wow, I didn't expect that we would actually do worse than last time. And yet here we are. Okay. I am done with this crap. It tried valiantly, but now we go schmall. Let's see. I'm gonna have some. Oh, not that small. No, we need more rocket fuel than that. Where are the? Why am I blind? There we go. Okay, we should have more jet fuel than that. That's what I was trying for, but that aircraft just wasn't going much above Mach 1. No matter how, like, I leveled out and it steadied out at like 33, or 330 meters a second, somewhere around there. And I was like, okay. I I don't know if I'll get this thing high enough for the Terrier to really be. Swivel is probably a better bet. Don't have ramjets. The only thing I have is the Panther. Yeah, that's the big problem I'm having right now, is only having the Panther. It does not help. Actually, oh no, we should probably at least have one of them. Or do that. Then why? Nope, not that one. There it is. Okay. Okay. It's gonna move, but it's still gonna look real dumb. Actually, let's go in the other order. So these first. Then this. This can go there. It's still a bit silly, but should still be better than the last attempt. It's fine. I mean, compared to the last, like, 8 crafts I made, this is positively conservative. Okay, I might have gone a little bit too far with that size difference. Oh dear. I'm still not sure it'll get to space. But boy howdy, this thing is probably gonna go fast. toggle engine. I forgot to turn off the rear steering, and I didn't set a friction override. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, the only question is if it can actually get to space. Well, getting to space, I'm pretty confident of. Getting to orbit, probably not, but we'll see. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nothing happened. You saw nothing. Nope, nope, nope. You heard nothing also. Everything was nice and nominal. Oh, please work. I just want it to end. I seek the sweet release of orbit. Why are there particles going forward? That probably didn't help. All right. I mean, it is getting kind of late for you, so it's not too shocking. After barely making it off the runway, yeah? I had a craft earlier that was jet engine only that I got to 1,000 meters per second in a straight line. That was pretty cool. That was purely jet. Let's turn down the authority on this. Now the question is just, do I have enough rocket fuel? Uh-oh. I don't think that's gonna cut it. I'd have too much liquid fuel, I think. Yeah, I just have way too much liquid fuel. Look at that. I think if I swapped this to liquid fuel and these to rocket fuel, I'll be good. Yeah, I suppose having these intakes are probably unnecessary. I do like having a lot of cross range though that I can use. But yeah, it gives you just so much extra weight at that point. Really, one can feed both. That's... huh. Would not have expected that. Whatever. All right. Make that rocket fuel as well. Mm-hmm. I might have to put canards on as well. Just because I could not get the nose to lift off the runway, even with the high natural angle of attack. I hate canards though. I don't like them. But probably be necessary. I'll just do the ramp intakes. There they are. I could go with air nose cones, but that works. Why am I so... Jesus Christ. That was embarrassing. Oh, interesting. I wonder if there's something messed up with my aspect ratio then. Oh! Hey, duh. Here, I'll fix it in a moment. I remember what it is. It's because, so I have an ultra wide monitor, and space and KSP. If you set the resolution to be not the ultra wide, it will like work. Oh. And every time I've done it in the past, it just automatically like remembered my settings and that I had it set for the different resolution than native, but still being full screen, which is nice. There we go. And my headphone just turned off. That should be unrelated, but I'm actually not sure. Who knows what Windows fuckery is going on. Why am I hearing an echo? There we go. That's dumb. Let's turn that off. Okay. And we're good. Hello, hello. All right. Yeah, I really need to reinstall CCAN and start getting at least a couple mods on here. Cause so many. Oh, it didn't save all the changes I just made. Oh, it did. It just... Okay, whatever. Let's move those wheels a little bit further back. But yeah, I need to reinstall CCAN and get at least some, you know, like Scatterer and some other visual mods going on. Sweet. All good. What is this? Oh. Alright, and I think we're good to try again. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I also really needed to switch back to one of my other monitors. I have two different 4K monitors I can use, but I also have this nice ultra wide that I've had for years, and like I never really use it as much as I should have. So now I'm trying to, but it's just not great for streaming. Uh-oh. Okay, good night, Courtesy. Sleep well. And don't die. might have overdone that initial climb a bit. Whoa. That's weirdly unstable. Oh. Hit the wrong button. This is either gonna do it or it's gonna be just barely shy. At least if it does do it, then my title will finally not be a lie after 3 hours. And if it doesn't do it, well, there's still work to do then. I'm gonna go up to about 72 kilometers before cutting. All right. This is definitely looking promising. I might have started that a bit late. That's not gonna help. That's where Courtesy picked like the perfectly wrong time to go to bed. All right, we actually have still have a pretty good amount of fuel left. I mean, obviously not all of it will be actually usable because some of it will be jet fuel only still, I bet, but not bad. Not bad. Alright, next step will be to make one that can actually be useful. I just kept on thinking the swivel because yeah, it's a little less powerful and less efficient than the I think it's less efficient at least. But having gimbal is nice when it's your only engine. Oh, okay, it wasn't quite orbital. That's good to know. Whoopsie. I think I'll count it. We were not lacking for anything there other than me paying attention to the actual periapsis. There we go. We'll go past that maneuver node and we should be good. Just a little bit. Admittedly, I'm not... Yeah, it feels wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you. I will note. It's just the vibes. The vibes are off for me. If that makes... I strongly suspect I'm re-entering too early. But that's what the jet engines are for. Actually, I'm going to be a little sneaky and move my center of gravity a bit further forward. Okay, maybe actually I'm going to overshoot KSC. Yeah, I definitely misjudged that by saying I was going to undershoot. Let's actually dive a bit. I know I can't do too spicy of a re-entry because after all that Mark 1 cockpit will burn up if I do. Getting at least a bit closer to KSC would be good though. That is getting very hot. Uh-oh. Maybe if I spin around. Spinning, that's a good trick. Oh, this hurts the realism side of me so bad. Oh. Oh, that was gross, but it meant that we survived it. What? Oh man, I have electric charge. That'll do it. Come on, just do a nice roll so that... Ooh. Alright, a perfectly nominal re-entry. No need to you have a lot of authority. Okay. And we have an SSTO. Now let's see if it's actually capable of landing safely. I feel like this thing is probably going to have a pretty high landing speed, considering how much of a pain it was to get off the runway in the beginning. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa now. Oh, the rear wheel still had steering. I forgot to turn that off. But hey! Successful landing, no porpoising. Just a little bit of skidding, but that's fine. I'm gonna get a little bit closer to the... A little bit ungainly, but we'll just call it a trainer craft for new astronauts. As a cheap and reusable way to get them to orbit and experience zero gravity. Because it doesn't really have any other use than that. But hey, we have a space plane. Alright, but with that, I have a friend who's been waiting on me for a while to go do a workout. So I probably need to end the stream there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Especially SpaceX there. Thank you very much for the rating and for sticking around after as well. Unfortunately, I can't actually pass it forward because my account is not old enough to raid most people since I set it to 30 days, and I hit that next week. Let me at least check and see. I can drop a link and do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, there's another VTuber even doing KSP. But it looks like they're French. I don't know about you guys, but I do not speak French. Ooh. How do y'all feel about Realism Overhaul and Realistic Regression 1? I like it a lot. So I'm gonna do a bit of an impromptu raid. Is there an easy way I can get the actual link to this? I know that used to be a thing, like years and years ago. Let's see. This is the disadvantage of a very small stream. I have a solution. There. If anyone would like to keep watching KSP, this is the one I pick. Go kill. And I'll say hello as well. Thank you very much. And well, it's a shame. Well, you know, I should at least. I already closed KSP. I should at least pull up the monstrosity I was flying earlier. I had some absolutely horrific looking craft. But oh, it's been a good stream though. I had fun. 3 hours is a good length, I think, for now. Seeing as I still work a full-time job. Yeah, with that, one final thank you all very, very much, and have a good night.